we've got quite a few guests here in the background today. So we're just trying to figure this all out a little bit, so just bear with us on this one here. So we've got Ainsley showing on the screen from the business growth team. So I'll just switch Ainsley off there. That's it. Now you've got me. How is everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. It's a tough winter so far this year. So I've got a proper cold one, but I hope you're managing to keep warm. We know it's really tough out there for businesses and individuals at the moment. But we still want to keep the Redcar Cleveland Business Network going. We've been asked a lot for, just to keep interesting facts, information, and just to keep this going is a bit of a beacon of hopefully what's going to be coming up later in the year once restrictions and that lift. If you don't know me, my name is Darren Winter, and with Karen King, we're both volunteer co-managers of the Redcar and Cleveland Business Network. And if it's your first time watching, the Business Network was established as a regular meeting, a monthly meeting where business owners like yourselves can meet other business people to share best practice, get advice, and just provide a forum to provide business advice and guidance from guest speakers. And for a few years now, we've held monthly face-to-face meetings, but for the moment, we're replicating the experience as best as possible online with a live multi-channel stream. So we're broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I always find it quite nerve-wracking every single month because usually something goes wrong when you're doing these things live. But I think we've seemed to have got it all together this month. If you're not already following us on Twitter and YouTube, I'm just going to put the addresses up now. So hopefully you can follow us there. So you'll see our Twitter address, Biz Network RC, and just search for Redcar and Cleveland Business Network on YouTube. A big thank you to Redcar and Cleveland Borough Council, who we work in partnership with, and a big thanks to our sponsor, Bede Financial in Mask, who sponsor our website, redcarclevelandbusinessnetwork.com. We encourage you to go to the website and just sign up for the newsletter. So if you don't receive our monthly newsletter, please go to the website, redcarclevelandbusinessnetwork.com, and then you receive it. We don't bombard you, we don't sell the details, but it just tells you about what's happening on future networking events. So for those who've previously attended our real life events, we usually invite everyone to stand up and provide a 15-second elevator pitch about their business, so we can network, so know who's in the room. But obviously in these live sessions, it's a little bit different. So just please introduce yourself and just, what your name is and the name of your business. Pop it in the comments below on Facebook or on YouTube if you're on there today. And if you're on Twitter, you can just send us a tweet. Matt's in the background. He's picking up the messages, and I should be able to see some of those also on my screen shortly. And we'll read them out. There is a little bit of a delay between me, what I'm reading, and for you to hear and then respond. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of time to do that, and then we'll come back and read those out. Just a reminder, please don't share anything that you don't want to be made public. So things like email addresses and telephone numbers, just be sensitive about what you put out there. It is being recorded, it will be shown again. We do get thousands of people or thousands of reviews on this stream, so please just be careful about what data you put out there. I'll just run through today's agenda. Speaking this morning, we have 4 speakers lined up, so haven't got me talking too much today. So first up, we'll have Denise Jennings from Redcar MIND. She's going to be talking about the service and also for businesses, providing some general mental health advice or some tips, really, some guidance there, which is on the Mind website. But we thought we'd just talk through those tips there. Second, with Angela Brockback. She's head of place investment at Redcar and Cleveland Borough Council, and she's going to be presenting an overview of some of the 97 projects around the borough, totaling around £1 billion worth of investment. Some absolutely fantastic, exciting projects, and some of the things I didn't even know was happening. So definitely make sure you stay tuned for that and let other people know about some of these projects, because they really are fantastic. Third, we've got Richard Baker from Redcar Cleveland Ambassadors. He's been providing a place marketing update for the borough, so that's definitely stay tuned for that. And also, last but not least, David Hitchin from the business growth team at Redcar Cleveland Borough Council. He's been providing a roundup of business support. And in fact, there's a slight change now to the format of the networking session each month, because the ambassadors and the business growth team are going to be presenting on a regular monthly basis. It's actually quite a great thing, because they'll be able to provide much more detailed insights than what I can do with the amount of time that I have. So stay tuned every single month for insights from both those groups. We'll wrap up no later than 8:30. Depending on numbers, it may finish a little bit earlier, but I think there's plenty to get through today, so I'm sure it's going to take the full amount of time. So what it's like, and if you just joined us, and this is the beginning, just know your name and the name of your business, but pop it in the comments below on Facebook, on YouTube, or if you Twitter to send us a tweet, and then we'll start to read those out shortly. If you have any questions for our guests, please, again, feel free, just drop them in the comments below. If you've got any that are ready, so you can start dropping them in now if you want to, or you can just wait until the speakers come through. Again, we will pick those up for you. Just got a couple of quick headlines to cover before we have a look at some inductions. You might have seen or heard about the Computers for Kids initiative, which has been run nationally. But there is a group in our area, and that's been voluntarily managed by Karen King, who helps manage this group, and the Ladies of Steel, Enter IT, and there's lots of other volunteers as well. So they're looking for any old computers or laptops, tablets, any of those kind of really good quality devices. If you've got them, they'll try to refurbish them. They'll wipe them clean, so none of the data will get out there. But there's a lot of kids out there that are homeschooling and they can't afford computers, or they don't have access to devices. So please, if you do have some devices that you felt that you're not really using anymore, or you felt kind-hearted that you can give something away, I've put a post up on the Facebook page this morning. So it's pinned at the very top there, and it's got all the details of the drop-off points around the borough. If you have any particular questions or you'd like to ask something about it, again, just leave the questions in the feed underneath. Karen, I hope, is on the call today, but if not, we'll pick those up and we'll make sure they're responded to. So if you can donate an old laptop or a tablet, they'll get refurbished, and then they'll be given out to kids that really need them for homeschooling. So thank you in advance for that, and thank you to everybody for the hard work they're doing, because it looks like there's some fantastic work being done on that project. And then just a reminder about the Federation of Small Businesses. There's a free networking group on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I think that the Tuesdays one runs every Tuesday, and the Thursday is now monthly. I'm just going to put that up on the screen now for you, so you just see that there. So it is free. You don't have to be an FSB member. They will see if you try and encourage you to join that, but that's not about that. It's about networking with other like-minded business owners. And again, you can, if you want to kind of sell and promote your business, that might be a good thing that you might want to do. You might want to pick up some tips, might want to ask about advice. They typically have some big audiences, so maybe sort of 30, 40 people sometimes online, all from different types of backgrounds, not just from sales and marketing and finance, but just small independent high street businesses, startup businesses. They're not big businesses. So if you're looking to network, you're looking to talk to new people, looking to try and find some good advice and some groups to get involved with, then please definitely sign up. To say it is free. And it's a shame not to take advantage of that offer. So do get involved. I promised that I'd have a look and try and read some comments out here. So let me just take that caption off for now. So going to the chat. So morning, Andy. So yeah, Andy from Lemon Top Gin. He's going to be talking next month. So we've got some guests lined up already. So morning, Andy. Kath Jared from Dog School. Morning, Kath. Thank you very much for joining us. Chris Corcoran. Morning, Chris. Hope you're well. Let us know who you're from. Karen, hi, Karen. Thanks very much for joining us. And I'll put your post out there for the IT stuff. If you could have a look, see if you pick up any comments. There's quite a lot to get through here this morning, so I might not be able to do that all. Morning, Diane Hopwood. Thank you very much for joining us. Rachel Henry. Morning, morning, Rachel. She's from First Light Trust. Rachel, get in contact with us. Drop us a line if you'd like to present. I know we said that last month. It's great. Michael Penketh. Morning, Michael. Can't say for the whole session, but it's from AFLOS Personal Training. So definitely check Mike out. He's very, very active. And if you need to lose a few pounds of eating a few too many biscuits during lockdown or these live streams, then definitely get in contact with Mike. Yep, Kath, thank you very much for the plug there. So dogall.org.uk, that's the website. Go check it out. Thanks for that. Chris, thank you for that. Owner of TR Eat, hopefully I got that right. You make artisan chocolate jellies from the home kitchen. That sounds amazing. You definitely have to tell us more. Maybe show us some pictures, Chris, or drop your Facebook or website link in. We might get you in for a talk this year. Hopefully, when we go back to doing real life events, you might be able to provide us some samples as well, Chris. Michael, yeah, great. That's fantastic. You put your link in there. So definitely check on Mike's website there, aflospt.co.uk. Gavin, morning, Gavin. I'm from UK Camper Vans. So building a camper van which you can follow the build. Be available to rent in the next couple of months for a COVID-safe holiday in the UK. Sounds really interesting. Make sure you tell us more, Gavin. I'd love to kind of see your website or maybe some videos and things like that. Morning, Amy. Amy from Jeff Crust Furniture. Great to see you. Thank you very much, for joining us. So definitely check out Jeff Crust website and in the town as well. Always a great windows display there. Jenna from MB Human Resources Consulting Limited and MBHR Sequence and Feathers. Good morning. Okay, Karen, that's great. So need about 800 more devices. And if anybody's feeling generous, cash is also appreciated. Okay, good plug there. Stephanie Costello, good morning, Steph. She's Visitor Destination Manager of Redcar Cleveland Borough Council. That's great. Thank you so much for joining us. Wow, it's a busy one this morning, isn't it? This is lovely. Lisa Sidgwick, good morning from Darlington Building Society. Thank you so much for joining us. Lisa, again, please get in contact with us. It'd be great to have you come in as a guest speaker if you'd like to talk about what you do, maybe how you can, any services that you provide for charities, CIT, social enterprises, small businesses, or just maybe some money saving advice. I know it's tough at the moment, but it'd be great to have you come in and talk to us. We've not had anybody from Bank of Building Society yet. Jenna, she says, yeah, we've got a little online boutique called Sequence and Feathers. That's lovely. Make sure you keep sharing these links. That's great. Thanks, Andy, for those comments about FSB. That's lovely. Andrew Rigg from A&M Solutions, electrical contractors. That's great. Let us know, Andy, what type of things. Is it business? Is it commercial? Sorry, is it kind of for residents as well, for their own houses? Let us know what you do. Sarah Taylor from Tech Consult UK Limited, based at the Wilton Centre, specialising in recruitment for science and technology and engineering. That's brilliant. That sounds really interesting, Sarah. Again, it's been really good to have a chat with you, maybe bring you in and understand a bit more about what you do. Sue Allen from Sue's Deja Vu, quality second-hand shop in Ormsby, Middlesbrough. Yeah, we're doing well. Thank you, Sue, and I hope you are as well. Good to hear from you, and thank you very much for joining us. Let us know how you're getting on, Sue. Are you able to do stuff online? Can people still pick up and collect from you? That would be good to know. Stan Glover from Mask Sports Partnership. Morning, Stan. Lots of new faces this morning, which is lovely to see. Let us know, Stan, again, what you're looking for and how we can help. Morning, Karen from Senses Wellbeing Centre, CIC Fitness for everyone in Skelton. Make sure you put that web link in, Karen, to let us know a bit more about your services people can see. And then Andrew Holt from Harvey Electrical Services Energy Efficiency Consultancy. Oh, that's a long word for a Wednesday morning. Know your greens and save money. Right, okay, well, let us know a little bit more, Andy, about what you're doing. Well, that was a really, really big update there, and thank you so much for everybody for joining in the chat. I really do hope you're going to enjoy this morning's presentation. Without further ado, I'm also going to bring in Denise Jennings from Redcar Cleveland Mind. Morning, Denise.
Morning, Darren. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm pleased to, in a way, kind of like handing some of this over to you because I've done a lot of talking. And just to, I suppose, to let everybody know, Denise is new in post at Redcar Cleveland Mind, so we need to kind of like be nice to her. We're always nice to all our guests every month, but kind of extra kid gloves with Denise because she's only been in a couple of weeks. So tell us, Denise, what does, tell us about Redcar Cleveland Mind. What does it do?
Okay. So excuse me. Yes. Good morning, everybody. I joined Redcar Cleveland Mind 4 weeks ago, so this is my 5th week. A brief bit about my background. I've spent 30 years working for local government in social work. I'm a qualified social worker. So to take the step from going from local government to the third sector, a voluntary sector, is quite a big change for me and a big challenge, which I'm definitely ready for. So I'm just, if I can bring everybody, I think Darren's going to put the link up later, but Redcar Cleveland Mind is an independent charity supporting the mental health and well-being of people within Redcar and Cleveland. We are affiliated to the National Mind Network, but we're actually independently registered charity. And excuse me, and we're responsible for all of our own fundraising within our community. This year, before I forget, is our 30th year within Redcar and Cleveland, and we are aiming to raise £30,000. I'll get the financial bit in there. We're aiming to raise £30,000 to celebrate our 30th year. So as the year moves on, we're hoping to involve lots of people in fundraising for our charity. So we're based within Redcar and Cleveland. We do cover the whole of the borough. We're quite a small team. There's a chief executive and myself and a business manager. And we have business support, and we have a number of different mental health practitioners, counsellors within the organisation. Currently, due to COVID, we're not able to offer face-to-face services. So, like probably the rest of the world, we're offering telephone contact and some virtual contact with people to try and keep people's mental health as good as we possibly can, given the current circumstances. We offer a number of different services. We have quite a new, just under 2 years old, children and young people service, which is a new venture, as Mind has predominantly been an adult service for over 18s. The children and young person service is from 14 to 19-year-olds, and that part of the service works closely with CAMS, the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service, which is part of Tees, Esk and Wear Valley's NHS Trust. So that's just in its development stages, and we're just looking to recruit into that service. Excuse me. We have the Road to Recovery service, which is anybody who can access the site is able to self-refer. So we offer a number of sessions, up to 12 sessions for individuals. And these can be people from anywhere at all. Anybody who's part of this group today, if you were feeling that you would need some support with your mental health, you could actually refer yourself online, and then a member of staff would contact you following that. We also, by way of businesses, we offer an employee assistance program, which I'm not sure whether people are familiar with, but this is quite a recent thing nationally, where companies are supposed to have mental health support for their staff. So currently we have a contract with Stockton Borough Council, and we also have a more recent contract with Tees Valley Combined Authority. So this is where employees from Stockton Council can contact their HR department and ask for some support. It may be supporting people returning back into work after a period of sickness, which is connected with their emotional well-being and their mental health. And in that part of the service, we do actually employ a counsellor who is able to offer clinical counselling as opposed to more generic mental health support. We have a system called Road to Recovery, which I don't know whether I just mentioned that there, and that's the self-referral part of our service. We are, as an independent charity, we're managed and overseen and supported by a board of trustees who come from a variety of backgrounds. So they're the people that we're accountable to. We have a staff team of approximately, I think at the moment, 17 off the top of my head, and we're currently recruiting to about 5 vacancies across the spectrum of our services. We as a service are finding it particularly hard, which I've already mentioned to you about the remote working and virtual working with COVID. And we have noticed a dip in referrals in the last quarter that we're trying to tease out exactly why that is. The referrals that we may get from GPs or from other organisations appear to have reduced, and also self-referrals. And we're trying to promote ourselves more to generate more referrals coming in, as we know that people are really struggling at home for a number of reasons. It may be their own mental health, it may be somebody within their family, it may be something within the workplace that people are struggling, working remotely. The spectrum is vast. We don't yet feel that we've had the impact of COVID, and feel that that will come over the next maybe year, 18 months, if not further on than that. Excuse me. On our website, you'll see that there's a number of different, I'm just trying to bring it up here. It's a very informative website, and it tells you exactly, you know, who we are and what we do. Rather than me talking through it, it might be worthwhile for people to actually take some time and look at our website and the resources that we have on there moving forward. Like I say, we work with the children and young people and the adult mental health. We offer peer support, and we're also able to offer online workplace wellbeing training for local businesses, which is something that if people would want to contact me directly about after this morning's discussion, I'm more than happy to move forward with that. Because obviously I think a lot of the smaller organisations, and I think this is fantastic seeing this network of people today, maybe a lot of smaller organisations are struggling as to how, you know, with furloughing staff, the impact that that's having on people. So I think we're in the mix with everybody else, as in, you know, the whole virtual world of everything. But I do encourage, I don't want to talk too much, I'd rather maybe respond to questions. But I do please encourage people to look at our website. Thank you very much, Darren. And I'm open to questions. I feel like I've just ranted on a little bit. We also have a new project, actually, just before I forget. It's called the Heroes Project, and that's come specifically out of COVID government funding to support our network of volunteers that we have across Redcar and Cleveland, who are also potentially struggling with the whole lockdown virtual world. So we've got a couple of members of staff who are working proactively with other networks of volunteers across Redcar and Cleveland. So there's lots of different projects going on, which I've briefly touched on. And like I say, please, if you could access our website, you'll find a lot more information from there. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions that people may have to ask, or if Darren may pop my email address somewhere on the link, then I'm more than happy if people want to contact me after this morning's discussion.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Denise. And I've kept the website up there for people that they can see. I think it's quite worrying that you were saying that, you know, you're probably not going to see the full impact of COVID for, you know, maybe sort of 12 to 18 months. So what's the message out there to people? You actively saying to people that you want them to engage with you direct? Yes,
I think mental health has always carried a stigma. I've worked in mental health for decades, and it's always carried a stigma that it's something to be embarrassed about or something that you can't talk openly about. And people are happy to go to the hospital if they've broken their arm or their leg. There's nothing wrong with that. And our mental health is equally as important as our physical health. And we as a charity and across all services continually strive to break down the stigma. We all have mental health. Sometimes our mental health isn't very well. Other times our mental health is well. And I think certainly, you know, I think in my experience, predominantly men, may struggle to access services because it's kind of like this machismo, strong personality. You have to be strong, you have to be brave, you have to be resilient. That's actually not the case, because we all have our Achilles heel within our mental health. And I would encourage anybody to contact us directly to discuss whether it's absolutely anything. I mean, Darren, it's so broad, the spectrum of mental health, whether it's anxiety, depression. Then, you know, we would work with people with mild to moderate mental health difficulties. If people then needed more, I would say, I don't want to use the word professional, but more qualified professions, then we work closely with Tees Eskin Weir Valley's NHS Trust, who provide the secondary and tertiary services. Tertiary being somebody who would be admitted to Rosebery Park because they had to be there for the safety of themselves or other people. And we don't, we risk assess every situation to make sure that the individual is safe, and also the member of staff is safe. And we have quite a, I would say, maybe a ladder or a spectrum that we follow along, depending on where we feel individual people fit on that spectrum to have the service that's best suited to their needs.
That's fantastic. I feel like I've learned an awful lot this morning. I think just to have a quick summary, we put a call out for questions and that, but I think probably with the subject it is that people may not want to sort of come forward, particularly. First up, if you go to the Mind website, I had a look this morning, and you can see the link at the top there. In fact, I can just paste this into the chat. But I had a look. There's tons and tons of tips. I mean, I think about even food and mood. I know personally myself, if I have quite some things like carbohydrate heavy meals, I know I struggle like the next day with my mood and stuff. And I've kind of learnt that over the last few years, really.
Yeah.
I picked up on that. But there's some advice there, and I think if you keep going down the page, there's so many different aspects of mental health.
Yeah.
It's not just what we think, people just inside struggling with life. It can be about money. You mentioned about furlough, about the pressures for employers.
Yeah.
And it's worrying about other people around you. It's also a big worry. And there's lots of different bits of tips and advice. But as Denise has just said, there are people there that you can speak to. So do come forward. Don't just sit there and suffer in silence. Do go and speak to somebody. They've got a live chat function. Telephone numbers there. I'm just going to put the details just up on the screen here as well, just as a reminder for people. So you've got the website rcmind.org. You've also got the telephone number there as well. We'll also put Denise's contact details. I'll put that. It'll just be after the session today. So thank you so much, Denise. I really, really appreciate you coming to talk to us about Mind, and I'm sure we'll probably invite you back another point during the year as well, if that's good for you.
Smashing. Can I just reiterate, Darren, that it is a confidential service, because I think also some people get worried, where's this information? If I say something, where's it going to go? And also just a little tip for people, be kind to yourselves. I think to try and take, I know it's hard when people are homeschooling and they've got a family or they're carers. We've also got a big carers support network as well. Sorry, I didn't add that on. But if people can take some time out to be kind for themselves, and even if you Google mindfulness, is a very, very useful tool to start helping work through some of just like your breathing, how your body feels. Because again, we work at 100 miles an hour a lot of the time, and we actually don't sit and listen to our body. So if people want to just Google, there's thousands of different bits of information on mindfulness online. So if people didn't feel able to contact maybe his Mind or their GP, maybe that's somewhere where people could start off to see how that might make them feel, and maybe help them decide what they want to do by way of accessing support.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. And hang on in the background, and we'll bring you back at the end. Thank you so much, Denise. And
welcome, Darren. Thank you.
Round of applause, I think, as well, especially for your first time and only a few weeks in post as well. She's done really well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you for Denise for that. We're going to bring in our next guest, which is Angela Brockbank, Head of Place Investment at Redcar Cleveland Borough Council. Morning, Angela.
Good morning, Darren. Morning, everybody. Nice to be here.
And I'm just going to get your presentation ready here. So thank you so much. And this is exciting. Hopefully everybody can see that. I'm just going to make sure that everybody can see it. There's a small delay, but we want to make sure we can see it. And before we move on, hopefully it's going to work. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Oh no! Right, let me just try something else. I'll just, as you see, it does work. Let me try another way of doing this, and I'm going to share. Let me just share. I'll just share my whole screen, which might look a bit weird, but let's just try that. Does that work?
I can't see anything yet, Darren.
Yeah, and Matt's a few seconds behind. Oh no! Oh, my goodness! Ah, no. Oh, I think I can see it on Denise's screen. So Denise, no, I can't. Oh, damn it! Technology is brilliant when it was working well. I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to think of another way we can do this. Let's just try it one more time. Creation window.
Do you want me to try it from my screen, Darren?
Yeah, give it a try, Angela. See if it can work for you. So it just be the very bottom. There should be like a line through it, and then I'll just take that caption off, making sure.
I tried to share it, Darren. I can't see anything yet, though. Can you see it?
Right, we have a presentation, I believe.
Brilliant.
There we go.
Right.
Got it. Got there.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. It's really nice to be here. I've got a few slides, so I will rattle through these because I am conscious of time, but obviously we'll be sharing them afterwards. So I'm Angela Brockbank. I'm Head of Place Investment for Redcar Cleveland Borough Council, and basically what that means is that my team deliver all the economic growth capital projects in the borough. So we've got some really exciting things this morning to tell you about, and I'm just going to take you through those, and it covers the whole borough, all the different things that we're lining up to do in the future. So really, I'm just going to take you through what that means for each area, to tell you a little bit about what we call the area growth plans and what that investment means for Redcar and Cleveland, and then also end on the Redcar Town deal, which is a really exciting investment that's going to be happening in Redcar that we've just submitted on Friday. So when we started out a couple of years ago, we had some outputs that we wanted to reach over a 4-year period. We got to 2020, and these are the results of some of the things that we did. So we've been able to assist a lot of businesses. We've created nearly 400 jobs and sustained jobs and created bed spaces as well in our borough. So we had a number of outputs that we wanted to reach. And halfway through, we'd probably got on target for 50% of what we wanted to do in that 4-year period. So everything that we do as a team really is about creating jobs and growth. So that's our output at the end of the day. So we've looked at some new area growth plans, and again, we've on the projects that we've done a bit of work on, we've looked at what do we want to do. Again, it's creating jobs. It's about sustaining some jobs in the borough. It's about creating new businesses, assisting new businesses, and again, creating bed spaces and increasing our visitor numbers, because that's so vital to our local economy. To actually fund that, it's been great over the past couple of years, I've got to admit, in terms of funding that's been coming through. So obviously being part of the Tees Valley Combined Authority, that's given us access to almost £30 million worth of investment to come into the borough over the next 4 years. We've also, as a team, we go out and we access and bid for funding through things like Heritage Lottery, We also do our schools investment programme, so we work with the DFE, and we work with something called Section 106. So when there's a big planning application that comes in, we see whether there's any investment that we can get for our borough from that investment. So in terms of what we're doing borough-wide, over the past couple of years and moving forward, we've done a lot of work on public realm. So that's just small things that might be sometimes, but it kind of creates the right investment atmosphere because it makes the borough look loved, and it makes it, you know, just look like a nicer place to be if you want to invest or come and live here. What we've also been doing is our high street support scheme. So that's a scheme where we can help businesses to upgrade their shop fronts. If you want to move to the borough and set up a new business or increase your business in the borough, we can give a grant of up to £10,000 to allow you to do that. And the nice pictures at the top there are just from our what we call our Welcome To programme. So we can also provide money for people who have visitor accommodation who might want to increase their bed space. We can provide a grant to allow them to do that and really upgrade. So we're getting really, really high quality visitor accommodation as well. And that's what it's all about, obviously, to bring people into the borough, get them to stay overnight, and hopefully be spending in the businesses in the borough as well. In East Cleveland, a lot of the work that we're doing is about our visitor economy, and that can be anything from taking over some buildings, which I'll come on to, and creating visitor accommodation ourselves, or it's just about getting that visitor infrastructure correct. So in East Cleveland, a lot of what we're doing is about that visitor infrastructure, and the image that you've got here is some work that we're doing at the moment at Fountain Street toilets. Now, toilets in the borough for our visitors are really, really important. If a visitor goes somewhere and they haven't got decent toilet provision, they probably won't come again. In Fountain Street, that's our gateway into the North York Moors. So it's that type of thing that we're trying to do is put our visitor infrastructure in place. We'll be doing a really big project in Saltburn as well to look at the car parking facilities there and make sure that our visitors can come and visit us very easily, get parked and have a great day, and therefore hopefully come back in the future. In Loftus, you may have heard that we were successful with our Future High Streets bid over Christmas. We didn't get as much as we wanted to get, but we were very fortunate that we were not one of the 29 towns who didn't get anything at all. So we've actually managed to get 5.8 million to deliver the master plan that you can see here. So it's a wide-ranging master plan covering housing, some leisure, some public realm, some highways infrastructure, employment space and cultural space as well across the town. And put together, that really will change the fortunes of Loftus as the place for people to come and visit and shop and do business. And I mentioned some buildings that we've been buying. So in Loftus, what you can often see on some of our high streets, you will all know them, the buildings that are unloved. There's probably a landlord somewhere in London who doesn't really care about what's happening on some of our high streets. These buildings that you can see on screen, particularly the top one and the bottom left one, have been issues on Loftus High Street for a long time. So the council have now bought those buildings. The one at the top is the United Reformed Church, and we intend to refurbish that as cultural space. At the bottom left, that's the Arlington Chapel, which, if we get permission for that, we're looking to demolish and create a really lovely little housing scheme right on the high street. And then the other building is Barclays Bank, and that's where, again, it's been empty for a few years. We're looking at putting visitor accommodation into that building and then bringing in a business to the ground floor. And then in Greater Eston, a lot of the work that we're doing is about employment space. So a big driver for what we're doing at the moment is the opportunities at Teesworks and also at Wilton. Wilton is still expanding. There's still lots of opportunities there. And what we're trying to do is make sure that we've got the supply chain that feeds those businesses. We don't have enough employment space of the right size in the borough. So in Greater Eston, we're looking at expanding Skipper's Lane, which is already really popular employment space there. So that will be coming on stream. We have to put some infrastructure in, and then we've also got the funding to actually build some units as well. So that's a really exciting project just down the road from Teesworks. And then another big project that we've got that was agreed at Christmas is, you might recognise this, is Eston Precinct. So Eston Precinct has been in decline for quite a number of years now. We've done some things to try and uplift around the public realm, etc., but fundamentally it needs a transformational change. What we're proposing to do is buy up the whole of the precinct, demolish it, and work with a supermarket operator to put an anchor supermarket in Eston to actually bring people in. So that will be happening over the next couple of years. Obviously, that's key to get the negotiations and make sure everybody's happy with us buying up those properties and doing that together with the business community. And then just turning to Redcar. So hopefully you've all heard about our fantastic new Regent Cinema. As you see from the bottom photograph there, if you go down to Redcar, if you're fortunate enough to live in Redcar, because we can't travel very much at the moment, we have demolished the Regent Cinema now, and what you can see happening there on the bottom photograph is the kind of foundations going in. So it's really, really quite important that we get, obviously it's a really strange environment that we're building on that seafront. We're looking, so it's a 3-screen cinema, independent. We want this to be really unique for Redcar. Nearly a £10 million project, this one. There'll be a cafe upstairs and bar, bistro, with the lovely sea views, and we're looking to open that next year, probably around summer. Obviously, we've got to look at the cinema industry as itself, but hopefully we get through COVID and we'll be there for the bounce back with this. Then again, you might have heard over just before Christmas, we announced the new hotel operator that we've managed to get for Redcar. So that's on the Courtham site. And again, if you've passed through Redcar recently, over the past couple of weeks, you'll have seen that the old skate park is now being demolished. So we've been working with that business for a while to take back that land. I know it's going to be a brand new start for that area down there with the new 42-bed hotel, but we're also looking at the potential for a play area and adventure golf, and I'll come on to the water sports area as well there. So that's just a bit of a plan. You might not be able to see that very well, but that's our kind of master plan that we have for Courtham, which looks at a brand new seafront down here. So that's the hotel in the bottom left, play area, golf, water sports, looking at chalets as well, and then somewhere for camper vans, etc., linking into the caravan parks that's there, and just really trying to be complementary to other things that are going on in the town. And then the station, Redcar Central Station, has been on our books for a long time to try and resolve. We've managed to allocate some funding to that, but we're trying to get the building back from Network Rail at the moment. And we've even had a discussion with ministers last week on this to try and get it into our hands so that we can redevelop it. And then bottom left is the Kirkleatham Walled Garden. So again, another £10 million project that we finished last year, but obviously, unfortunately, due to COVID, we've not been able to open the facility yet. Once we can, I mean, I'm sure people, this is a regionally significant attraction. People will be coming to see these beautiful gardens. And I keep saying one silver lining, if you can ever see one of COVID, that I try and hang on to, is that those gardens are going to be even more mature and wonderful for visitors when they do actually get to visit us, hopefully this summer. And then finally, really just to tell you a little bit about the Redcar Town deal. So we were offered from government a part of 101 towns that could bid for £25 million to invest in their town. So we've been working with the Redcar Town Board, of which Darren is the chair, to look at what investment we want in the town. You may be aware we've done 2 lots of major consultations over the past 12 months, really to understand what businesses, what visitors, and what our residents want to see happen here. So I'm happy to say that we submitted our town deal on Friday to government, and I just wanted to take you through some of the projects that will be coming out of that. So as I said, £25 million, but actually it leaves us in an investment of around £59.1 million into Redcar. So with private investment, with other projects that we've got going on, it's a nearly £60 million package. We submitted the tip to government, and then what happens next is we agree heads of terms with government, and then we start doing the business cases and start drawing down the cash. So we're still waiting for government to obviously tell us how much money we're getting, and we hope to hear that in the next few, probably in the next 2 months. This is being launched today, so this is kind of a sneak preview of some of the things that we've got. So this will be out later on this afternoon. You'll be able to access this, and when you do, I would say, if you do nothing else, just click onto the video link, which again has got the lovely Darren doing a voiceover of all the exciting things that we're going to see happening in Redcar. So please do that. It's only 5 minutes. It doesn't even feel like 5 minutes, but it will give you a real feel for what we're trying to do in Redcar. So you can see here, there's a lot of investment. We've focused the investment on the town centre because that's what people, residents, businesses wanted us to do. So we've got a lot of projects from the Courtham, I mentioned the water sports facility, and that's to complement all of the other things. The Regent Cinema, a lot of public realm around Station Road, and obviously enhancing the northern quarter. Then coming down, looking at the Esplanade, and doing some upgrade of that and making it just feel better for visitors. We're looking at a family entertainment centre, which I'll come on to, upgrading our high street, creating a new event space, and also putting in an energy, clean energy education hub at the college, which will make sure that we make sure those jobs that are coming in, clean energy and Teesworks, etc., our people and our residents can actually access those jobs and get the skills that they need. So this is, and they're all artist impressions I'm going to show you. There's nothing set in stone. We've got a lot of design work to do, but it's just to give you a flavour of what we're trying to do. So this is kind of an artist impression of our upgraded high street. So to make people dwell longer, spend time, enjoy themselves outside in the spaces. I'm sorry, this is slightly fuzzy, but you can see what we're trying to create is a link between the high street and the Esplanade. So we're looking at actually demolishing 2 major buildings there if we can get agreement with one of the owners, and that's in M&S and the Goodwins building, creating what we're calling a festival ready event space. And that's just a view from the high street out to the sea, so you'll be able to see the sea a lot better. And then this is something we're calling the lighthouse. So one of the other plans that we've got is to move our library onto the seafront to drive footfall, but also create a 21st century library. So interactive storytelling, technology, lots of different things that we're going to do there. And then on the seafront as well, having a family entertainment centre with clip and climb, bowling, all the things that you might want to do when it's not so nice on Redcar seafront. And that was it from me, Darren. I will stop sharing my screen if I can. It's not letting me. Hang on. Sorry,
thank you so much. That was fantastic, and I really appreciated that whistle-stop tour. There's so many exciting projects going on around the borough at the moment, and like you said, Angela, it's despite COVID. It is business as usual for everything else that's happening at the moment, if not a lot more in terms of all the plans and all the exciting things that are going to be happening. So once restrictions do start to lift, we're going to hopefully start to feel some of the benefits of these for, almost years and that to come. So it's not just a one-off, not just a few months project. These are things that are going to make an absolutely massive difference to people's lives, and encourage businesses that have kind of survived coronavirus, and encourage those to maybe start new businesses, and maybe encourage those to come back again as well if they can. So thank you so much. We've had some really good comments on Facebook. So really excited for Redcar development. Cinema sounds great, as is the hotel. Hotel is amazing news. How great would it be to have artisan chocolates from Redcar in your pillow in the Redcar hotel, Chris? Yeah, that sounds good. I live in the Cotham area and can't wait to see the investment developments come to life. It's lovely. It all looks amazing, so good for the area. So just one question here, and I know we are running out of time because we've got to get Richard and David in yet. But one question, any thoughts on procurement for local companies to assist in the design and construction of these exciting schemes? And I know that is at the heart of this, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And hi, Rob. Yes, absolutely. We want to make sure that that local businesses and our residents have the opportunities that are going to come out of this massive investment. So we have a social charter that will be absolutely embedded with all of the procurements that we do, and I'm sure there'll be opportunities through this forum as well, just to let people know what's coming up.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for all the comments, and thank you so much for your time this morning, Angela. We got there in the end with the presentation. I think it was just a bit of a delay with the technology, but we got there. So you're off the hook. You're done. You can relax and have a bit of a coffee. So we'll just we'll switch over. I'm going to bring in Richard next. So Richard Baker from Redcar Cleveland Ambassadors. And if you don't know Richard, he's going to tell you about himself and about the scheme. So Richard, this is over to you. You might be better sharing your screen than me sharing mine, if that kind of works, but if not, let me know.
Okay. Thank you, Darren. Can people see that?
Nothing's come up on my section yet.
There's it sharing.
Let's see if I can try and do this one as well. I've managed to do it from this time. It's working for me, but it's not going to work for you. It's going to change its mind. Oh no, it's allowing you now. There we go. It's over to you, Richard.
So can you see that then?
Yep, that's perfect.
Yes, I can't see myself, but that's probably a good thing. Yeah, good morning, everybody. So my name's Richard Baker. I'm the Place Marketing Manager for Redcar in Cleveland. It could be a case of how do I follow that after Angela's presentation? Well, I'm going to repeat a few of those things. So I last spoke at the November meeting. So what Place Marketing is about, just very briefly for people who don't know, it's all about positively promoting Redcar in Cleveland to change perceptions and improve the image of the place. So people are more likely to want to visit, invest and live here. This morning, I want to give a brief overview of our strategic plans for 2021. So obviously, like everyone else, our work has changed a lot since March, and we're really restricted on what we can do, but we're going to be doing our best this year. We're going to be focusing on 4 themes in our marketing communication. So I'd just like to just briefly cover those today. Firstly, so Angela's covered some of these. So this is investing in our bright future. So we've referred this morning a few times to over £1 billion worth of investments, which is absolutely amazing. So that total was announced or started in 2020, but obviously a lot of that work will be from 2021 onwards. And I won't go through that list because I'm conscious of time, but so many amazing things. That's going to be one theme. Secondly, something that's very important is supporting local businesses. Obviously, we're very aware of the impact that the pandemic has had on our local businesses. So it's important that when we are able to open doors, that we all do our best to support those businesses, both actually visiting and spending money, but from this perspective, doing our best to promote and share. The next one is welcoming people back. So obviously at the right time, that's the important thing to stress, and safely, we'll be supporting the culture and tourism team to promote our amazing place. And we've got so many sort of unique assets that we're very proud of and we want to share amongst people. So that's the coast, the countryside, some fantastic visitor attractions and some really, really good events. And we're hopeful that we might be able to do events in some format, fingers crossed, throughout 2021. So that's another strand. And finally, this is something obviously that Angela covered in detail, is local projects improving our place, so that you can see a list there, some really good, some transformational projects. And so the bits that Angela covered, Angela leads the team of people who deliver these projects. So I see my place and the place of the ambassador scheme is doing the promoting of those. And I think that's really important sort of aspect, really. Some of the things can potentially go under the radar, particularly the sort of more local projects, but they're all projects which promote our local communities and make a difference to people's lives. And from a place marketing perspective, I think it's important important that we can show people who may be considering moving here that these are the kind of projects that they can expect to see if they move to Redcar and Cleveland. So I think that's probably quite an important thing to sort of take out of things. How will we do this? We've got the place website, and the link to it's on the last slide. We've got active social media channels. We want to build media relations, and I'll come on to that in a second, but using radio, print and online predominantly. The ambassador events, which I'll come on to in a second. It's important that ambassadors share all of this good news and the campaigns we're going to embark on. So there we are, we're saying, can you help us? It's in everyone's best interest for everybody to come together as one team here. Briefly, some plans for developing the place website. We'll continue with our regular updates, including the Friday 5 summary and news stories. We've got the ability to put dedicated profiles for ambassadors on the site, and we want people to use that facility. We'll be doing some business spotlights, some features on local businesses. The local projects that I've just discussed and Angela's highlighted, we're going to be doing a section on that site to really put the focus on those important projects, and supporting the Enjoy and business teams as they develop their sites. Looking to the ambassador events, this is just a very rough estimate because we're in such an unpredictable time at the moment, but we will have those 4 events which take the themes that I've discussed. So we'll be announcing the first one, which I'm pretty confident will be the Investing in Our Bright Future in March. We'll be announcing that soon, and then moving on to the other themes as the year progresses, but these are subject to change. And then I think finally really is spreading the message wider. So Darren has very kindly taken up the role as acting chair of the board, and these are some of the things that I think Darren was particularly quite keen for us to do. We focused a lot of our efforts on looking at things within Redcar and Cleveland and ensuring people are aware of what they have on their doorstep, but we also want to spread the message wider. So here is just some of the things we're going to be looking at in the very near future, is looking to partner with another English town or place to sort of share best practice, and sort of particularly as we hopefully emerge soon from the pandemic, that we can sort of see what they're doing and vice versa. So just sort of sharing some knowledge. Connecting with our twin town, which is, I think it's Troisdorf in Germany, just to sort of see whether we can sort of connect with them, and again sort of share ideas and see how things are going in Germany. Building connections regionally. We have some established connections, but we want to sort of develop those with examples such as Tees Valley Combined Authority and Enjoy Tees Valley. And strengthening the media relationships, so making sure we've got those relationships so we can get our message out there wider. And I think that's about it. So you can see there the web address at the bottom, redcarcleveland.co.uk. I'll stop sharing the screen now. There we are.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Richard. And you've done a grand job there, getting that all in such a small window. I just wanted to bring up just a little cut from the bottom here as well. So make sure you do follow the Redcar Cleveland Ambassadors. They're on Instagram and Twitter at RC Ambassadors. And I have to say their Instagram channel is absolutely fantastic because of the photography. The quality of photography is amazing. So make sure you do give them a follow. Make sure you link in with them about all the things that they can help you promote your business. Have a look at the website, like Richard said, because they can give you a free link to your website as well. All helps kind of build authority for your website through Google and stuff like that. So there's loads of little goodies, just small little things that can make a real big difference. And next month we'll have a little bit more time, so we'll get through that. I'm just going to quickly squeeze in, and I do apologise for the squeezing this morning, everybody. There's loads of good stuff to talk about. David Hitchin from the Redcar and Cleveland Business Growth Team. Morning, David.
Morning, Darren. Morning, everybody.
How are you?
Better than the weather.
And I'm so sorry, we're up against it on the time here, and I know we didn't really get a chance to speak before we went live, so I don't. Have you got? Did you have a presentation to show, or was it just some notes that you'd like to share?
There is a presentation, but both Richard and Angela have covered off one or two things I was going to say, so hopefully I can rattle through it anyway.
Okay.
And if I can share the screen.
I'll have a look for.
If not, I can just talk over it.
It might be better just to talk, because I haven't got your presentation to show. It's not coming up on here. But yeah, to have a quick just run through, and again, we'll bring you back again next month, and we'll make sure we've got a little bit more time.
Yeah, that's fine. Most people are aware of the business growth team anyway. I mean, basically, we can assist any business of any size within the borough, or those looking to invest in the borough. You know, despite the current situation, there's an awful lot of positivity out there, and we are trying to make it business as usual. So please don't be afraid of contacting us if you've got any business queries whatsoever. At the moment, yes, we are spending quite a lot of our time at the core of the delivery of the COVID support grants. I'll politely describe it as challenging. If I can just mention, put it on record, it is frustrating at times that the amount of false information and rumours that we hear on social media and things that we've heard in the WhatsApp group, a lot of people have undoubtedly been put off applying for grants by what they've heard, and it is a frustration for us. Please do not avoid contacting us. We'll tell you exactly what the situation is and what you're entitled to. It is a very complex situation, but please, yeah, come to us and don't just rely on what you hear on social media. There is good information on our website, which does differ from the main council website, and that address will be up shortly. But as I say, I'll gloss over the COVID grants, because it would take at least an hour to get through that. The main funding out there at the moment that we are still getting plenty of inquiries about is the Tees Valley Combined Authority Growth Fund, which is aimed primarily at business-to-business operatives. Again, if you've got any expansion plan, give us a ring, and we'll gladly talk it through with you. I know Angela mentioned the High Street Support Scheme, which is the local funding that is sort of unique to Redcar and Cleveland at the moment. It is very popular, for bearing in mind the situation that we're all placed in. We are getting, 4, 5, 6 inquiries every week of a real positive nature, which certainly takes our mind away from the intense work involved with the COVID grants, and does show that a lot of business people out there do remain very positive for the future. And some of the projects that Angela has mentioned there, I do think, as an area, not just the Tees Valley, but Redcar and Cleveland in particular, I think we can look very positively for the future once the current situation is under control. If I'm just going straight through, the screen I'm looking at now is just the contact details, so I'm sure, Darren, you'll be able to put our details out there with detail, as I say, in particular with the redcarcleveland.co.uk/business website, which, as I say, that is the most up-to-date place to get the information. And also keep an eye on our Twitter feed of @businessinRC, and we'll put information out there on what's currently available, and as soon as we get concrete information from government as to what support will be out there going forward, we'll be publicising it. So I think that's all from me for today, Darren.
That's fair. I've got just one question for you, David. That was great. Karen Winspears asked, can we put a link to the grant that you mentioned? Was it on your Twitter or?
Yeah, I'd probably say just come to us. We do put things out regularly on Twitter, and also on the website. There is pages relating to the business funding that's available. But if you have any queries, please just come through to the team direct.
Great.
And we'll, there are so many questions that have to be answered that can then direct us to the right funding that's available. So it is difficult to cover just in a quick call or a quick chat. But yeah, if anybody wants to come through to me direct, yeah, I can certainly tell them, talk through the eligibility and what the criteria are.
That's fabulous. So, Karen, so hopefully if you just drop Business Growth Team an email, then they'll be able to respond back to you with the funding grant that you're looking for. And that's the same for everybody. Like David was saying, please just get in contact with them. There is details on the website there, and do make sure you follow. I know not everybody uses Twitter, but it is really easy to use. And if you just follow one account today, definitely follow that one, because it tells you everything. As soon as the team find out anything about funding or grants, they are really hot on it. So I really would encourage you to, if you're not using Twitter, sign up today and then just follow that one account there. Thank you so much. And there is, Matt just put the details in the chat there as well. And Kath, that's the same. So again, just contact David there for grants available for non-premise businesses. I'm not sure personally on that, but again, it might just depend on the circumstances, and David will be able to advise or certainly investigate. There's so many different grants, and it really is a bit crazy. Karen King.
Each case is definitely different, so yeah, it is easy to come direct.
Karen King, can businesses across both the TVCA funding and the Future High Street Fund, or is it one or the other? Might be too long to answer, but sorry, yeah, David.
As I say, they tend to be separate because the high street funding tends to go to business to consumer businesses, whereas the TVCA is purely business to business, which might sound, I think I'm probably sounding a bit geekish there in how I say that, but yeah, I could, if Karen wants to get in touch, I can explain it and say very much every case is different.
That's brilliant. And then just one question from Karen King for Richard. She asked about when the profiles are going to go live, please. And Richard's just internally chatting here because the guests can't respond back to the comments. But that will be happening very, very soon, because Richard will have an apprentice, so be running web updates. So they'll be able to respond and get on top of those. So hopefully that answers your question. I just want to say thank you to all of our guests this morning for joining in and turning up so early, and thank you to all of you for sort of joining us today, because I think it's been one of the most highly attended online network meetings so far. So thank you for everybody for turning up and for your presentations. Thank you for all the bearing with us with all the technology problems and things we got there in the end. Next month, please join us. Andy from Lemon Hot Gin will be presenting, talking to us about his product. Sue Beverley from DIT will be able to join us and talking about expanding overseas. I know it's a bit of a hot topic at the moment, so I'm not going to get too much involved in the politics, but he's just talking about some of the opportunities that are available for businesses in wider, far-flung countries. So that's definitely well worth tuning into. And then in May, we've got Helen Williams from Just Like Home Interiors. Morning, Helen. We've finally got you on. We've been badgering you for years to come and do a talk. So she's going to be joining us in May to talk about her interiors business, which is in Redcar, and she's done fantastic over the last few years with her business, its expansion. So it's going to be a great talk to listen to. Apologies for overrunning, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it really beneficial. I did. I learned a lot today, and I just wish you all a great day ahead, and stay safe and keep warm for the rest of February. Take care now. Bye-bye.